All right, day 130, Monday night, 1:27 a.m. So if you're new to this is the journey of 0 to 1 billion. I document myself every day building my business, which is business models, LBOs. We're doing private equity, QLA, basically buying businesses using leverage. It's been around for a long time, and I talk about what I do every day, so let's get straight into it. Basically, today was my off day from defense. So I had my off day from work. So straight offense today. And today I was doing a lot of cold calls and I realized a bunch of things today. So I'm going to get into it. I did cold calls. I went to the members club that I'm part of. I did my calls and I made a video for an ad that I'm going to send out for Facebook ads. So that's something that we're going to look forward to. We're going to see the results on that, right? Another thing I did, I went to two different places to do my offense, and then I hit the gym, and I came back home at 8 and did some more work. So some of the stuff that I did today, work-wise, like when I came home, for example, I got rid of my VA. So my VA has been giving me shitty data. I'm refunding his ass, and I'm gonna take a different route with the VA. I'm not gonna hire someone $4 an hour because they don't give you good data and they don't even give you that many leads. So what's the point? It's complete BS, right? So what I'm gonna do instead is there's a certain website that they could scrape from. I'm gonna tell them about this website and I'm gonna give an offer, right? So we'll see the results on this as well. I didn't really get to send that many offers for this, but I'm gonna offer 5 cents a lead for 10,000 leads. So like I'll give you $500 for a big list, and I want you to get it done ASAP. Put like a week time frame, maybe 2 weeks. We'll see. We'll see what they tell me, but that's in the motions right now. I'm shooting those offers to people, and I need to start off my cold email campaign. The thing is with today, there's just sometimes you think you could do more in a day than you actually can. There's only so many hours in a day. Sometimes it's like, okay, I had all these things I wanted to do, and how much of them did I actually get done? And like, okay, why didn't I finish all of them? Like, I wanted to like make the video, I wanted to edit it, and I wanted to launch the Facebook ads. I wanted to launch my cold email campaign, and I wanted to hire the VA. So like 5 big things on my list, and I wanted to work out. So it's like kind of like too many things in a day. Like I was making those videos. I made 4 videos, and I'm actually just gonna use 2 of them. But I had to edit these videos, right? Like it's a lot easier to edit things when you know how to do it, right? So for Facebook ads, for example, I'm not like super fluent with Facebook ads. I have a lot more knowledge on Google ads and YouTube ads, especially YouTube ads specifically. Like those I could like do like that. But I'm creating a funnel that basically leads to a Calendly link. So I have to set up my Calendly link, right? I have to put my dates for when I'm available and have it all set up with like the questions, you know, are you guys doing between this much in revenue? Yes or no? Are you guys doing this? Phone number, like the whole like list part, the description part, like all these small details, and then you test it out. But there's a lot of knick-knack details between every single one of these big tasks, right? It's not like you could just, yeah, the day just swings by. So I still need to launch my email campaign. And that's something that essentially I can like launch pretty easily, but I want to make sure my script is on point. So I have to work on the script, right? Um, which is not a problem. I want to get all this done. There's just not enough hours in a day. And then my dumbass, I want to go work out. So I spent too much time working out today. I worked out at a gym instead of my house. I got tired of working out at home and it was my off day. I was debating if I should go to the boxing gym or work out with someone I know. And I got so like in tune with the work that I basically finished and got off. I stopped working on offense at around like 6 p.m. So from 6 to 7ish. No, the timing just doesn't add up. I think it was like 7 or 8ish is when I stopped. And then I went to the gym with my friend. So basically at the point like 7 or 8ish, whenever I stopped working, I couldn't go to the boxing gym anyways because it was too late. So I was like, all right, whatever. We'll just switch the plan. We'll go work out at gym with my friend. And when you work out and you do the same, like similar workouts, like every day, like at some point it just feels a lot easier and you just need to like switch it up. It's kind of like what today was for me. Worked out with one of my friends that I've known for a long time. And he took a different route than me. I've known him since we were kids. He was always like, stick to school, stick to school. And I was always like, yo, the wild one, the Wild West, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. We're having conversations today about that. And he was intrigued with what I have going on. And he was like, man, are you going to raise the finance? How is that going to work? Like, what is it that you do every day? And he's talking about like the mergers and stuff that he's working on with his 9 to 5. And like all these weird companies, like companies that process foods and they're like worth $30 billion, and companies that make paper or like synthetic paper, they're worth billions. Like weird companies, and he's working with them because of his job. And dude, like in his position, he's kind of chilling. Like he makes like $400 a day or so. He just chills. Like it's not like super hard job. But even then, at that point, I'm not just him, multiple people, like they still tend to want to like try things outside the box. Like, oh, I'm gonna have this side hustle. But it's like if your job was really good enough to take you all the way, then you wouldn't be trying things. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say like I'm better than him. I'm not comparing in that way. I'm just saying maybe the route I'm on is still the right route. I shouldn't feel a certain way. I'm still gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going either way. I'm just speaking out loud right now, right? I know the answer, right? These are just thoughts that's going through my head. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. So a couple things that I want to talk about today, not in regards to offense and strategy, etc. This is more so in regards to like knowing yourself, which is very, very important. The other day, maybe like yesterday or the day before, I was listening to a Tai Lopez podcast. While I was at work, I had some downtime. I was listening to it and I had like notes. So I wrote down a bunch of stuff. And he talks about a lot of interesting things, man. Like he reads a lot of books, as a lot of people know. And his old videos are nothing like his new videos. His new videos, he talks a lot about numbers. He talks a lot about statistics and studies and scientific facts and like psychology. Like talks about like very interesting ideas. And one of the things he was talking about that I want to point on, and I'm kind of gonna analyze myself with this idea. He was talking about understanding yourself, and a lot of knowing yourself comes from your DNA and your genes and from your ancestors, like 50% of it, like he describes. So he says there's 4 points to knowing a person. And he asks 4 questions, right? So I'm going to ask myself these questions, and maybe you guys can ask it, and you might find it interesting to kind of think about it. But he basically, he analyzes the people that he's interviewing with, and he asks them these questions. So he's like, first question he asked was, if I was to wire you $1 billion, but you have to be anonymous, like no one knows you, right? Like you have to stand in lines, and the only people that can know who you are is your family, and like top 4 friends. They'll know like, okay, you're rich. Like I'll wire you $1 billion, but no one can know who you are. Or would you rather make $250,000 every single January, but like you're the man, like people know who you are, you're super famous, like you're respected, skip all the lines, everyone knows who you are, you make $250K and you're the man, or you have $1 billion wired in your account but like no one knows you? me, like he was comparing it to, he was like, would you rather be Jeff Bezos or Leonardo DiCaprio, right? And Leo has like $300 million to his name. Jeff Bezos is like 100 billion. Who would you still rather be? Like Leo got the status. Jeff got status in a different way, but he's like the top 3 richest people on earth, right? Who would you rather be? Like, what's more important to you, status or money? That's really what the question comes down to, right? Me, I think I would rather have 300 million and be the man rather than 100 billion. No one knows who I am, right? That's what I would pick. Okay, so if I'm picking status over money, and essentially Tai Lopez was saying this too, like most men are more inclined to status than money. I think that's true. I think it makes sense. So let's say I go with the status, right? 250K check every single January, but like everyone knows me, like I'm the man, right? So now you have the status, but you can't travel more than like a kilometer from your house for 10 years. And you have to follow like a schedule from like 8 till like 5. Like you wake up at 8, come back home at 5. So you have no freedom, right? But you're the man. Like you got the status, you got 250K a year. You're the man. But you don't have freedom. So you only stay within a kilometer of your house. You have to follow a strict schedule. What would you rather have? It's either that, where you have no freedom, but you have the status, or you make 250K a year, but you're not popular, but you do whatever you want at your own time, in your own schedule, full freedom, but you're a normal person, right? So me, I would take the freedom. So here, let me paint it again, right? You could either be someone who makes 250K a year, but you have full freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want. Like you're not strict by a job or anything. You got freedom, 250K a year. Or would you rather be 250K a year, you're super famous, or not famous, you got the status, the respect, right? Everyone knows you, but you have to be within 1 kilometer, right? And under a strict schedule for 10 years, right? So you got the status and you got the same kind of money, but you don't have any freedom. Over here, you have the freedom, you got the same kind of money, but no status. What would you pick? Me, I would pick the freedom, right? And then the last one is like romance. So he says, so you have fame, money, freedom, right? So you got fame, money, and freedom. But for 10 years, you can't have a girlfriend, you can't have a family, you can't have a wife, you can't have kids, right? For 10 years, right? You're not gonna have a family for 10 years, right? But you have fame, money, and freedom. So you got all 3, but you don't have the romance part, right? That's one option. Okay, would you take this, or you're not well known, you don't have much freedom, but you have a family, a good relationship, a good wife, they like you, everything's on point, right? So you have an amazing family life, but you have no freedom, you have no fame, and I mean, you got decent money, right? But you don't have no freedom and you have no fame, but you have a family, right? Choose the family, or would you rather have fame, money, freedom, but you can't have a family for 10 years? So no family 10 years, but you have everything else. Or you don't have much, but you have the family. What would you pick? Me, at this point, I think the most important thing to me was freedom. So I'm taking the freedom. No family for 10 years, it's fine. I'm still young, 22, so I'll be 32, that's fine. I could deal with that, but I got money, fame, and I got freedom. Bro, priceless, man. Now, some people say that, and I think I agree with this to a certain extent. like, oh, like you want the money, fame, and freedom, but you don't want the family. It's like after the 10 years, when you want to find the family, you're only gonna find the gold diggers because you have the money, right? It's like harder to find someone real when you have a bunch of money. You're just gonna find gold diggers, right? But I think everything's really an exchange of value anyways. So hear me out, right? Like you like this girl for a certain reason, right? And she likes you because you could take care of her or whatever the reason is. There's an exchange of value. As long as they're not taking advantage of you, you know? And that's people only take advantage of you as much as you let them anyway. So it doesn't really matter. It's probably going to be harder. I'm not going to lie. Definitely going to be harder, but it's not impossible. And yeah, it's a lot of interesting thoughts. Like Tai Lopez talks about a lot of things. Like something he said was, no man can remove the devil completely. You just have to control it. Like don't go to extremes. So like every man has a devil inside of him, but no man can remove the devil completely. Like what's your devils? What do you think your devils are? Yeah. What's interesting though is my biggest one out of the four, which is money, fame, freedom, and family. Those are the four that he was talking about. Out of the four, my number one, I'd say freedom. Then it's either fame or money, and then family. That's my results. What's your results out of the four? Fame, money, freedom, and family. What's your order? 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Go ahead, comment right now if you're watching till this point. But another thing that's pretty interesting, I saw a clip of this show. It's called Power, and I watched it like a long time ago when I was younger. Like I was probably like 15 or something. It's basically a show that talks about a drug dealer who's like the biggest drug dealer in New York City. So he's like super rich, but he's trying to get out of the drug business. He's trying to not be a drug dealer anymore. And like the whole show is him trying to like get out, and like his family still wants him to do it. Like he's always being like pushed into it. And he's trying to escape. But like every time he's trying to escape, there's someone that he has to answer to that wouldn't let him escape, and then he would like kill them. And then another person would come because, oh, you killed this guy, so you have to do his job for me. And boom, boom, like there's always someone to answer to. Even if like you're making your own money, like even if you have a SaaS business or you have a SMMA, like social media marketing agency, right? You still have to answer to your customers. Like there's a whole lot of SMMAs out there where they're basically the slave to their clients. Same thing with IB, like investment banking, or there's always someone to answer to. So is there really any freedom anyways? Which is pretty interesting because that's my number one, man. Like if you were to give me a lot of money but no freedom, or give me freedom with not a lot of money, I might take the freedom, man. Freedom is priceless, but essentially in life you can never truly be free. You're always gonna cage yourself somehow. I remember when I used to work at AT&T, there was a raven that used to come 10 a.m. every morning, 10 a.m. Same time every day. It would come, look for food, do its thing, and leave every single morning. And I knew it was the same exact raven, and I knew that because it had like this little cut on like the back of its wing. So like you could kind of tell when you see a lot of like birds or like cats, you could tell when it's a male or a female. This guy, he was a male, he was like a bigger raven. He had like a cut on his back wing. He was there every day. And I was at work every day too, right? 10 a.m. I'm in this box, right? In this store, AT&T. I used to work there. I'm in this box. I'm stuck. I have no freedom. This bird has all the freedom in the world. It has wings, right? It could fly. It could do whatever it wants. It could just get food wherever. It's probably not that simple, but it has the freedom. But yet, this raven comes here every single morning. It's like, why? But then you kind of see like other patterns as well. Like I remember when I used to park in a certain spot at like 5 or 6 p.m., every single day, all the birds would come on like the wires on top of that parking spot, and they would all like gather together before they fly away. It's like they have 9 to 5s or something. Like birds have 9 to 5s. Super weird concept, but it is true. Like if you pay attention, you'll realize it. Like around 5 or 6, they get together and they start flying away together. But every time I parked there at that time, they'd all get on like the wires. They start pooping on my car. I'd clean it. Same time tomorrow, again and again and again. And then I was like, man, like these birds have 9 to 5s, but yet they're free. So how does that work? Like maybe we're just as free as the birds, but yet we act just like them. You know what I mean? Maybe there's not like, obviously there's a huge difference, but it's still similar in a way. You see what I'm saying? Like they still have the same like tendencies of action. They still want to follow the group. They have a routine. Maybe it's within our instincts in a way. But here's another thing he was talking about. Like the biggest difference between humans and other animals is our IQ. IQ, right? And I don't know, I don't think this is very true, but he was also saying that almost everyone on the billionaires list has, at least self-made people on the billionaires list, have super, super high IQs. Right? So it's the biggest difference between us and animals. So you got to work on your IQ. But like, can you really improve your IQ? Like by doing what? Like reading or something? Man, I'm really like getting deep into it for no reason. Yeah. I know Dan Pena, he always talks about IQ, and he always says, like, the dumber you are, the easier it is to do QLA. Maybe his billionaire mentees, he has like maybe 25 or 26 people that are billionaires that worked with him. Like, he made them billionaires, right? I don't think any of those people had low IQs. Like, there's no way. Yeah. But it makes me intrigued, like, look into your DNA. Like, there's a lot of things that are very inheritable. And, like, the idea of, like, not taking risk, like, maybe, like, that comes down as well from your ancestors. Maybe you are the way you are because of them, and it's deeper than you think. You haven't thought about it as much. It's your instincts, right? It's like, it's almost like your DNA. Like, if you had a lot of pain with something in life, like you ate this one thing and then it always gave you a rash, or you had so much hardship from whatever, like some kind of animal or something, like your pains get transferred to your children as well. Like over time, it just like develops. So how much of that is in you? And that's why, like, maybe that's why you don't take risk. Maybe that's why you don't push yourself. Maybe that's why you're just complacent. I mean, not everyone needs to try to be like a billionaire. Honestly, it's like a pretty lonely path. Like I could just tell. I could just tell, like, doing this for 130 days or whatever. But it's that same path that everyone goes through to succeed. Like, succeeding and failing looks exactly the same all throughout the journey. It looks exactly the same until you quit. But if you didn't quit, that journey looks exactly the same. And then down the line, you'll probably succeed somewhere down the line. If you just don't give up. Like me, I have to do these Facebook ads and these cold email campaigns, and I have to go to work tomorrow morning, and it's 2 a.m. I have to try to sleep on time and work out, stay in good shape, not burn out, make these videos. And it's the game, and I'm not complaining. It is what it is. We're gonna get this shit fucking done, man. When these videos, I cannot wait. Like, at this point, 130 days, like sometimes my views are dropping and they're going up, but I don't care, man. This series is to document myself. So when I succeed, this will be like an insane case study. It will be a crazy case study. I wish I had something to watch like this for someone who succeeded. And it's kind of similar to the Undercover Billionaire show. I saw Grant Cardone was on it, and I watched it back in like 2021 or 2020. And he built like a $3 million business in 90 days, which is insane. He started with $100 and he built that business. How did he do it? He had a partner, similar to what I'm doing. If you're new to this and you're still somehow watching, I built a board of directors. We're gonna find a hot deal, and then we're gonna find the financing with banks or whatever. So back to the point with Undercover Billionaire. He found someone in the town that was well connected. He made him a partner. He made a marketing company. And he started selling that partner's relationships to create the clients. He started selling and selling them. And he built a business in 90 days. And it was similar to this. It's like you document yourself every single day and you make it in like an entertaining way until you succeed. He did it in 90 days. So I'm way past that point already, man. He completely crushed me. Well, obviously, he's a billionaire. But yeah, maybe that's the case study, man. I'm just like not doing something very innovative, but yeah, I think it's great. I would love to watch it one day. I was so tired of doing things and not succeeding and looking back and just seeing like a trail of wasted time. Like, at least now, if I fail, and I'm not gonna fail, but now if it ever comes to that point, I can look back and say, man, okay, did I really give it my all? This is why I failed. Like this day I did this, and I was slacking because this happened. I get to see it all. I won't, like, I'm tired of just spending my time, not going to school, not having the results. Like, there has to be something to show for it, man. Like, where did my time go? Right? At least now I can see. Man. What I can say is, like, today, for example, I literally squeezed, like, let's say your day is like it's like a wet towel, okay? A wet towel, that's your day. And you take it and you squeeze the water all out of this towel. You squeeze it, you keep squeezing until all the water's out, all the juice is gone. And then it's dry. That's your day. Think about it that way. Like today, I squeezed all the juice out of my day today. I would say so. Wasted time? I did not have wasted time today. No slippage. I was even gonna go to the mechanic to fix my car. Like, I have a headlight that's out. And I've been putting that off. I'm supposed to do it on my off day. But I literally didn't even want to do that, man. I want to just straight work. I need to get all these things done. So like, get to it. Like, I'm still gonna get my headlight fixed, but today's not the day, man. Today we gotta get things done. But I would definitely say that over the past 130 days, I really took that towel and I squeezed out the juice every single day, man. Not even one day passed where I didn't work. I'm basically like a slave, just like the power video, just like the birds, just like the raven I was talking about. It's literally me. But it's part of the game. I'm not complaining. It is what it is. And I'm curious enough to keep following this path and see what the hell comes out at the end. I really want to see that, man. But yeah, how much of that towel did you squeeze out today, man? another test of measure, right? If you hit your bed at night, like I'm about to hit my bed right now, right? If you hit the bed and you don't fall asleep instantly, I don't care how old you are. You could be young, I don't care how much energy you have, man. Even if you drank Red Bulls, it doesn't even really make a difference. If you touch that bed and you don't fall asleep, you don't feel like you want to sleep instantly, then you had more juice in that towel in that day. You had more. You just didn't let it out, man. You had more to give in that day. Yeah, I'm just going off. I'm just going crazy.